Hey everyone, welcome back to another review. Today we are looking at the second Bill and Ted film, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, and this film released in 1991. So if you watched my review for yesterday, I gave Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure a 4 out of 5 stars because I just love it so much. I love the optimistic vibe it has and all that sort of stuff. So I had really high hopes for the sequel, and I hadn't actually seen the sequel yet up until this point. So I was really excited to watch it, and I will be honest, it was different to what I thought it was going to be. It was very, very different. So the basic plot of this film is that there's this evil villain who sends two evil robot versions of Bill and Ted to fight the real life Bill and Ted. And these robots actually end up killing Bill and Ted, but if Bill and Ted can beat the Grim Reaper or death at certain games, there's a possibility that they could return to the real world. So this movie is completely bogus, like the title suggests, and Bill and Ted go through this crazy journey through the afterlife, trying to get back to the real world. It's insane, it's really weird. I'll also just say that the second film is way darker than the first film. Although this film is definitely still a comedy at its roots, it does deal with darker subject matter. For example, death. These characters die and have to go to the afterlife to try to get back home. And it's still very funny at times, but it is definitely a lot darker tonally than the first film. So it was really interesting, and I do think that this film, it's very ambitious in what it tries to be. It does definitely take the Bill and Ted franchise in a completely different direction, a direction that I definitely was not expecting. So obviously Alex Winter and Keanu Reeves return as Bill and Ted in this film, but there was another character that I also just really loved the inclusion of in this film, and that was the Grim Reaper. And he was played by William Sadler, and he was just one of the best characters in the whole film. His character definitely does parallel and sort of parodies the death figure and the death character in the Seventh Seal film, which is also just an amazing film. If you haven't checked that out, definitely check it out, highly recommend. And I thought the Grim Reaper character was one of the best characters that was introduced into this film. I really did enjoy his presence in the movie. Unfortunately, at times this film definitely did lack the charm of the original film. I didn't find it as optimistic and I guess as hopeful as the first film was. The first film had a very feel-good vibe to it. Don't get me wrong, I definitely do still think this film's a lot of fun, but it did just lack that charm that the first film had. Also, if you thought the first Bill and Ted film was weird, you're in for a big surprise in this one, because this film is way weirder than the first film was. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but it did also just, it pushed everything a lot further than I thought it was going to do, which was really interesting and I guess kind of fun. Overall, I would say I definitely did not enjoy this film as much as the first Bill and Ted film. I did feel like some of the character development was lacking a little bit, especially with Bill and Ted, who are the lead characters. It would have been nice to see these characters grow a little bit more from the first film. And although there is a bit of growth in the sequel, it definitely is not as much as I would have expected from a sequel, if that makes any sense. These characters kind of just stay the same throughout the whole film, which is not great, especially when you do die as a character. You would think there would be a lot more character growth and development throughout the story, trying to get back to the real world and stuff like that. And although we do get to know these characters a little bit more, it did just lack a little bit of character development for me personally. Now look, if you did enjoy the first Bill and Ted film, I think you're gonna really enjoy the second Bill and Ted film. Maybe not as much, but I still think it is a really fun sequel to the first film. And I'm really excited to see now what they do with the third movie, which is coming out tomorrow. Woo, I'm so excited. But yeah, I really did enjoy parts of this film, and then other parts I didn't enjoy as much, which is unfortunate, but there is still a lot to love in this movie. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this film a 3 out of 5 stars. Not as great as the first film, but still a fun sequel to the original. So that is my rating for Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. Let me know what you thought of this film if you have seen it in the comments down below. I'd love to know your thoughts about it. And if you are keen to see my review for the third film, which releases tomorrow, press the bell icon to be notified when I post that video. And consider subscribing, potentially, but no pressure, only if you want. And I also will be reviewing Tenet tomorrow, which I'm really excited about. So if you're keen for that as well, consider subscribing. Cool. That is all for me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. You guys are absolute legends. I hope you guys are doing well out there. Stay safe during this crazy times. I hope you guys are good, and I hope you guys are happy. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.